After the touching ending of Ann Droid, many viewers are asking the same question. Will there be an Ann Droid season 2? Right now, the answer is simple. No official second season has been announced. The BBC has not confirmed a renewal. The producers have not revealed any plans for additional episodes. And there is currently no production schedule or release date for a continuation of Sue and Linda's story. That may sound disappointing, but it does not necessarily mean the series has reached its final chapter. In fact, the ending leaves plenty of room for another season while also providing an emotionally satisfying conclusion if the show never returns. To understand why, it helps to look at how the first season ends. Set in the year 2029, Ann Droid follows Sue, an independent widow who refuses to admit she needs help despite repeatedly suffering falls at home. Feeling guilty for constantly abandoning his mother, her son Michael signs a 24-month contract for an outdated Android Z58-100 basic eldercare robot named Linda. From the beginning, Linda is anything but the perfect assistant. She is socially awkward, painfully literal, prone to spectacular glitches, and completely unaware of normal human behavior. What begins as a reluctant partnership gradually develops into one of television's most unexpected friendships. Across 6 episodes, Sue and Linda slowly transform each other's lives. Linda constantly invades Sue's privacy while trying to fulfill her programming. Sue learns how to exploit Linda's overly logical thinking for her own mischievous plans. Together they survive disastrous volunteer work at a charity shop, a chaotic seaside adventure, an uncomfortable family dinner, and an unforgettable camping trip. Every ridiculous situation strengthens the bond between the lonely widow and the malfunctioning robot. By the final episode, however, everything begins to fall apart. Michael reaches the lowest point of his life. He loses his job. His relationship collapses after discovering his girlfriend is expecting another man's child. With nowhere else to go and very little money left, he moves back into Sue's house. Looking for ways to reduce expenses, Michael arranges for Linda to be collected and permanently decommissioned. The decision seems practical. After all, Linda is an obsolete machine. The collection technician reveals an even sadder truth. Because Linda's model has long been discontinued, replacement parts are no longer available. She will not be repaired. She will not be reassigned. She is simply going to be destroyed. The revelation transforms what first seemed like an ordinary sitcom into something unexpectedly emotional. Linda may be a machine, but she has become part of Sue's family. The emotional climax arrives on what should have been one of the happiest days of Sue's life. It is the 50th anniversary of her wedding. Instead of celebrating with loved ones, she finds herself disappointed by the people closest to her. Her friends let her down. Michael remains distracted by his own problems. Once again, Sue feels completely alone. Then she discovers one final gift from Linda. Before being taken away, the robot secretly prepared a recording of Sue's late husband's voice. It is an act of extraordinary kindness. For perhaps the first time, Linda demonstrates something that feels remarkably close to genuine compassion. That moment convinces Sue she cannot simply abandon her friend. While Sue races to rescue her, Linda faces her own crisis. At the disposal facility, she meets numerous obsolete robots awaiting destruction. Rather than accepting her fate, Linda refuses to surrender. She organizes a daring escape. During the breakout, she also encounters another robot, a beautiful female android who shares her determination to survive. Together they escape the facility and begin making their way back towards Sue's neighborhood. Their journey leads to one final comic twist. Outside Sue's house, the emotional reunion is interrupted when Sue accidentally bumps into the escaping robots with her car. Fortunately, neither Linda nor the new arrival suffers serious damage. Instead of losing Linda forever, Sue welcomes her home with overwhelming relief. More importantly, She refuses to ever let anyone take Linda away again. The ending becomes even more intriguing when Michael meets the second runaway robot. An immediate spark appears between them. Although played for comedy, the scene clearly hints that the household is about to become even more chaotic. Rather than ending with everyone returning to normal, the series finishes by creating an entirely new family. Sue is no longer alone. Linda finally has somewhere she truly belongs. Michael unexpectedly finds himself fascinated by an android. And two runaway robots are now living among ordinary people. Those final moments naturally make audiences wonder what happens next. Will the authorities begin searching for the escaped robots? Can Linda and the second android remain hidden forever? Will Michael genuinely fall in love with the mysterious newcomer? Or could his experiences eventually convince him to reconcile with Renee instead? The series deliberately avoids answering those questions. Instead, it allows viewers to imagine where these relationships might lead. That open ending has led many fans to assume a second season must already be planned. However, that is not currently the case. Ann Droid was conceived as a self-contained 6-episode sitcom. Its central emotional journey reaches a satisfying conclusion. Sue accepts that needing companionship is not a weakness. Linda discovers that she is valued for far more than her original programming. Michael begins rethinking his life decisions. Even without another season, those character arcs feel complete. At the same time, the ending creates enough possibilities for future stories. A second season could explore how Sue adapts to life with two robots instead of one. It could examine whether other obsolete care androids have escaped destruction. The wider world could begin discovering that outdated machines are developing independent lives. Michael's growing connection with the second robot could become one of the series' funniest and most heartfelt storylines. Another possibility is Michael's relationship with Renee. After everything that happened during the first season, there is no guarantee they will reunite. His life has changed dramatically. Meeting the second robot introduces an entirely new complication. Whether their chemistry develops into romance, friendship, or simply more awkward comedy remains completely unresolved. The writers intentionally leave that question open. Because the series finished airing only recently, it is also far too early to interpret the lack of an announcement as bad news. Broadcasters often wait to evaluate viewing figures, audience response, streaming performance, and international interest before deciding whether a comedy deserves another season. That process can take several months. So while no renewal currently exists, that situation could certainly change in the future. If Ann Droid does return, there is no shortage of directions the story could take. The growing family inside Sue's house. Linda continuing to misunderstand everyday life. The second robot adapting to freedom. Michael trying to rebuild his future. And perhaps even a larger mystery surrounding obsolete androids escaping disposal across the country. All of those ideas naturally evolve from the first season without undoing its satisfying ending. Until the BBC makes an official announcement, however, everything remains speculation. So, will there be an Ann Droid Season 2? At the moment, the answer is no. There is no confirmed renewal and no officially announced continuation. But the ending was clearly designed to leave the door open. Whether the story continues or not, the first season succeeds as both a complete emotional journey and the beginning of a much larger world that could easily support future adventures. For now, fans will simply have to wait and see whether Sue, Linda, Michael, and their wonderfully unconventional family receive another chance to make us laugh and remind us that sometimes the people who understand us best are the ones we least expect.